All right, happy Monday. Whoa. How's everyone doing today? So cool. Sorry for being, I think, like 30 seconds a little behind. I'm actually updating the ledger as we speak. So come on in, get comfortable, and I will be done in 2 seconds. Let me just do this because it's important. I do like to still manually update the ledger because I like knowing every single new Rhino that enters into our platform. It's important to me, but it should be. And I take such pride and pleasure in knowing every single one of us. And actually, today we did an outreach to, I think, like 3,000 new people, new Rhinos, and it's been really well received. In fact, a lot of them are on this call right now. So bear with me, we're almost there. Just updating the sheet as we speak. We're up to 557. That's a really, really large number. All right, just bear with me. And then we'll go through the numbers and it'll be fun. La, 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 la. Almost there, almost there, almost there. All right. It's just so much math and everything that goes into this. All right, let's do this. All right, we're almost there. Plus, we're letting everyone in because it's still 2:02 and we don't get started till 2:03. All right, cool. And I'm done. Welcome, 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 welcome. And let's see who we got today. We got such a group. My God. You know, I'm always constantly more and more impressed every single time we get on a call together to see hundreds already to begin, which is cool. So let's go ahead. Michelle says, happy Monday. Frida, hello, Anthony. Deborah, always from Salvation, Florida. Hey, long term, but still excited. Robinson's here. And Angus is here. Hi to everyone. Cool. So as we had shared with you last week, we were going to reveal some website updates today, and they are complete. The goal was to go ahead and, hold on, I'm still doing this. Okay. The goal was to go ahead and just make it a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to look at, a little bit better of a flow, because we do have such traffic coming to the site every single day. And sometimes, so to some people, like our front page was join our meeting today, right? And to some people, it's like, okay, I don't really know who Rhino is. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and opt into giving them permission to email me an invitation to a live Zoom meeting today, right? Sorry, I got dizzy for a second. And that's totally fine. So with that being said, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and change the call to action. And again, I always want to reiterate, everything that we do together is a learning process. Like, because what we're doing is so large, this is still the pre-launch, right? Like, we're still in the learning phase. And I know a lot, the majority of everyone's been with us since the beginning. And you're going to say, Ant, this is like 9 weeks in. How is this still the learning phase? Well, if your market size is the globe, is everyone, then it stands fair to reason that you probably should start with a couple of hundred people, maybe a couple of thousand people, start it over a couple of months, really dial in. What is it that is receptive? What is it that people like? What is it that captures the attention? What is it that allows someone to have the motivation and mobilization to move from zero to hero along a path that you know is good for them, but they also know is good for them? And that's not an easy answer. It's not like I could go through like a manual and it's like, okay, if you want to go ahead and create Rhino, you need to do this. No, it's what I've always believed in any type of business is you just be accountable, be there. I will always be right here. I'm always going to be right in front. I'm always going to be talking directly to everyone because it's this communication, it's this access that allows us to always get the real-time information and go ahead and apply it. So when we went ahead and built our website, and it's the platform's been building and building and building, and it will be building even more, right? Like it will get larger, it will change a little bit over time, but every day it's getting closer to what it's going to look like at the finality. Finally, when it's like, okay, this is the version we want, every day we're getting closer to that. But in doing so, we realized that, you know what? To have the front page where it's just simply introducing who Rhino is, a little bit of verbiage, and then a button that says, hey, listen, why don't you come join our meeting tonight, was a hurdle a bit high, right? Like a lot of people went ahead and participated that knew us, or that were direct referrals of someone that knew us, that were people that said, hey, my aunt said to check you guys out. Great, it's on the front page, click the button, good. But what about those that did not know who we were? What about those that just came to the site? What about those that got introduced to the site from a friend and wanted to go ahead and do some inspection on their own? It is those people that make up the vast majority of the traffic that comes to our page. So we have to be able to go ahead and speak to them. We have to be able to take a look at someone and say, okay, we understand that this is new. You don't know where you are. You don't know who Rhino is. So how can we best go ahead and illustrate who Rhino is? How can we represent it? And the only way to do such things is to be organized, be simplified, and be direct, right? To go ahead and offer the customer a customer journey that will go ahead and allow them to check off those boxes. So I want to go ahead and do a screen share, and I'll be able to show you what the site looks like now. All right, so where do we want to start? I feel like we haven't done MSN in a while, right? Let's go there. Distributive marketing. Also, I have some updates I'd like to share with everyone too. So some things will be changing. I feel like I always say that, like things are always changing. And not, you know what, let me take that back, because changing sounds volatile, right? Like, oh, things are changing, how can we trust this? And that would be a proper thought process, right? You don't want things that are changing. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly upgrading. And those evolutions and the upgrade, right? Like no one's ever ran from the iPhone 5 because they own the iPhone 4, right? Like no one ever owned the iPhone 4 and said, oh my God, the 5's coming out. I want nothing to do with that. I'm going to stick with this. Because the iPhone 5 compared to the iPhone 4 was an evolution. It was an upgrade. It was better. It was something that kept the culture of what you had, but just improved on the things that needed improving. That's a changing of the iPhone would be, okay, here's the iPhone 4, now you have the BlackBerry 2. Like nobody wanted that. In fact, nobody wants a BlackBerry ever. All right, so this is our new homepage, and by new, I mean just simply upgraded. Nice and simplified, right? Rhino Marketplace, Rhino Coin, Dear Wall Street. Now, this is our emblem, right? Our seal. And anytime you click this, you'll come right back to our homepage. So if you ever find yourself lost in the jungle somewhere, always click right here, right? Yeah, vertically integrating optimization to improve the Rhino experience. Gunny, that was such a lovely sentence that it excited me. Like I want to hug you. All right, let's see. And of course, as I'm reading things, I have other things. We're a lot of different nationalities. It is possible that we can do something like an event every month in our own language, of course, backed by you. As long as we, yeah, actually, so Mike, that is something that we're looking into. So I know Google allows us to have translation features. So we do want to go ahead and translate or allow the site to have translations to other languages. But on top of that, to the point that you were just making, we do want to go ahead and again, that's I think that's like a month 4 or 5 thing, where we're going to go ahead and identify our, not surrogates, because that word just sounds weird, like a surrogate mother is someone that's just like a vessel. But in politics, you have your surrogates, right? So President XYZ, while he's running or while she's running for president, has his or her, 20 most trusted advisors and fans and believers. And she or he entrusts those 20 to go speak on his or her behalf, because those 20 are able to communicate with an audience that he or she might not be able to communicate with. So we do have that written down. And as you go into our, well, actually, I guess we could just do it live, right? So when you go into Rhino Coin, you're able to go to view balance sheet. And in here, you're going to see all of our, not only numbers for the balance sheet, but all of our plans going forward. And when you take a look at Rhino 2020, you'll see that double events and VIPs is in July. So to Michael's point, this might happen a little bit sooner because we are growing quite quickly. And I say that, and I feel like people probably are like, yeah, you're growing quite quickly. You have 500 people. Yeah, I get it. But that's all totally organic, right? Like we haven't done anything yet. To have a 10% compounded growth week over week of organic word of mouth, I don't think anyone, well, I don't want to say that. Maybe people do understand, but that's a really, really big deal. That's enormous. To be number one on every search engine is a really big deal. So when we go ahead and start doing events like we plan on doing starting in April, which might actually be sooner too, because I'm going to give you a couple of updates. We're going to the numbers might grow so large that we need to go ahead and move July forward and allow our VIPs to speak on our behalf in a bunch of different languages and countries. You know, you're going to be introduced to our new host who's starting next week. In fact, I believe I'm going to introduce her live maybe Friday, and me and her will be able to present. I guess I could give her the Q&A like she's, you know, as we do with all of our business owners, and she'll simply get to meet the community. You'll get to meet her. But upon doing so, it will be that person that is responsible for having the VIPs say, come on once a day, right? Like for her to schedule it. So for our new host to schedule, all right, and Mike's gonna go ahead and present Tuesday, and he's gonna invite all those that speak his language so that he's able to share with them, or whatever the case may be. So that's still a developing and evolving idea, but it's a good one, and it's one that we have listed. So I do already agree with you. I feel like that was a really long answer for a short question. Sorry about that. All right, anyway, so let's go to the front page, and you have Marketplace, which again, we'll always say is the Marketplace is the engine of Rhino. It just is. Rhino, again, so what allows Rhino to be Rhino, which is in essence, building a platform that's crowdsourcing a digital economy. The only reason or the only way we're able to do this is because we're properly financed to do so. The funds are there. We're able to go ahead and build websites and build platforms and build logos and go ahead and offer marketing and offer traffic and make sales and build larger and larger and go to events and doing all of those things because we're financed. We have the money to do it. The money to do it is those that go ahead and purchase Rhino Coin. And it's those that purchase Rhino Coin, they do it as an investable asset. Okay, Rhino Coin is this price today, but we believe it's going to be this price then because Rhino Coin will be the sole means of transaction of everyone that's on Rhino starting January 2023. Therefore, for that coin to be worth the value that we're projecting it to be worth, it needs to have the transactions that back it up because that coin is worth based on the transactions that build it. The transactions are the marketplace. So when people go ahead and when rhinos go ahead and purchase the coin because they believe it's going to be worth that amount, and that money comes into Rhino, and Rhino then goes ahead and builds out the marketplace, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is the first time ever that the entire community has been brought to the table and said, guys, if everyone does this, we're going to have this. This is the first time where people are actually being brought to the table and shown that you as a group is worth more than you as an individual times a bazillion. If I could have 100 million, if we can have 100 million people on Rhino, and let's say we had the choice, each one gives us $37, or everyone was free, but they were loyal to Rhino. One choice would give us, what's 100 million times 37? 3.7 billion? Well, okay, 3.7 billion, that's a lot of money, right? Is 3.7 billion worth more or less than having 100 million rhinos all on the same platform loyal to that platform? That's worth so much more, like so much more. Because actually, so you know what, if you wanted to go ahead and put a number to that, and again, I'm getting off course again, but if you go to the Rhino balance sheet, the coin, you'll see that the average Rhino contributes $33 per week. So, and the reason I bring up that number or that statistic or that obvious data point is, let's go back to the question. If you had 100 million people and you charged them all $37, you'd have 3.7 billion. Or you have 100 million people that you never charge $1 to, but they're all loyal to a platform and they're actively contributing to the platform because they all own the platform. So how can you go ahead and put a dollar amount on that, right? Like, Anthony, what's that worth? Well, right here, we can show you very clearly. It's for $33 per person per week. It's been what, 8 weeks? 8 times 33 is some variation of like 240, 250, right? Because 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 times 33 is, I don't know, 26.1. So $261, the average Rhino has contributed to this platform. So now $260 times 100, oh, I was right, 264. So if you have $264 times 100 million, is that number larger than $37 times 100 million? Yeah, it's like 7 times larger in a span of only 8 weeks. So the point is, if you're able to create a platform that actually benefits everyone in the platform and everyone in the platform owns it, and everyone in that platform not only owns it equally, but has the opportunity to own it in a larger way, well, then by definition, that piece of the whole is larger than that piece of the individual 100% of the time. So if you were able to grow a platform where you were so unselfish and you simply said to everyone, hey guys, why don't we all just get together here? Instead of them taking advantage of us one by one, why don't we become a group and then go ahead and make decisions ourselves for ourselves while all owning an equal portion of this? The answer should always be yes, because if you can trust that outcome, then you can trust that you're in a better situation than you ever could have been in. And if that's the case, you then want to go ahead and own the coin, because the coin is how this group transacts. The coin is what captures the value of this. And if you did think that, you would directly be financing everything that we're doing that builds to that. You know, sometimes I don't even know where it comes from, but it's from the heart. Like, I got to tell you, before I come on these lives, I'm like, what are we going to talk about today, right? Like, we have a structure and I'm presenting all the new updates, but the updates will probably take a normal person 4 minutes, 5 minutes. We're usually on for an hour. In fact, how many times am I like, oh my God, I'm going over, right? Which I hope is not the case today, but who really knows? Ah, and that's only the beginning. Yes, Deborah. So let's go back to the first page. So I'll take a deep breath. Okay, so that's why the Rhino Marketplace is so important. So let's go ahead and take a look at Rhino Marketplace. Now, what you'll see is Rhino Marketplace is actually in the middle of being upgraded. So the 1.0 version of Rhino Marketplace was, we had our emblem and we had the logo of the company a little smaller. Then the 2.0 version was, okay, Anthony, we need the logo of the companies to be a little bit larger. They should be seen. Yes, so we did that. But in doing so, to go ahead and create it in a balanced approach, rather than allowing this to tip one way or the other, the Rhino logo is still there, equal to the business logo. Well, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. And it's not that it didn't seem like a good idea from the beginning, but again, you have to do the work. You know, my father, for all the things I could say about him, anytime I've ever asked him a question about anything, he goes, I don't know, go get it done and then we'll figure it out. The point was, don't ever take the shortcut. Don't sit there and think to yourself, all right, well, let me write this on a piece of paper. If I did this, then this, and no, just get out there and do it. That's what Rhino is. We are literally, how many things have I said over the course of these last 3 months where you're like, Anthony, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But it's because there is no filter. We are all genuinely just doing this together. Yeah, I'll lead. I don't own it. I own a portion of it, right? I own as much as anyone else does. I'm seriously just leading and pioneering it because everyone needs a leader. But that doesn't mean the chief, well, I don't want to make the analogies of, I do not think the leader is intrinsically more valuable than the team. I think that's the position that they play. That's my personal opinion. Therefore, whenever you hear me talk about our team here, I never say my employees. In fact, if you ever ask any of our team members, how's Anthony at work? They would tell you he's exactly the person you see every single day, because that is who Anthony is, right? And Anthony believes that. So with that being said, I think that's probably where my team decided to make this looking fairly equal, but that's the wrong calculation because the whole platform is Rhino. We don't even need the Rhino seal here. Why is it there? So what's actually happening right now in the design team is that the Rhino emblem is being taken off, which by the way was advice from a majority of our Rhinos. So some of you are listening to what I'm saying right now and you're saying, yeah, Ian, I just emailed that to you last week. Yes, you did. And we listened. So we're taking this off. The logo for the company is going to be larger. And I believe this font is going to be in Rhino green, but like a nice, beautiful metallic one, meaning that the Rhino marketplace is going to truly highlight the company. Because honestly, I can't even see what this says. Author nearing. And I know it because it says it right here, but I can't read it in that gold print. And I have good eyes. So let's get the company logo to be front and foremost, right? Let's get this legible where it's a color that we could see. And Rhino green is the best color ever in the history of the world. And everyone knows that. So that's changing as we speak. That's a today thing. That's a design team thing. But what we can see is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 43. What we do know is it was 40 on Friday. So if we will go ahead to our Rhino coin and go to our view balance sheet, we can see that the Rhino marketplace. Now, again, you remember the first 2 weeks, we said, all right, we're building. This is when we hired the marketplace team, right? Like we said, we're hiring the team. We're now properly training them. And what's really cool is when we were here in real time, you don't have any of these other numbers, right? So in real time, all you have is this 5. And then in real time, the next week, all you have is this 5. And then in real time, the next week, all you have is this 5. So in real time, you have 3 weeks listening to an individual saying, guys, don't worry, we're hiring a team. They're being trained. After this week, you're going to see those numbers really skyrocket. And in real time, there's a level of trust that needs to be earned, but also demonstrated. As any Rhino would say, well, Ann, I sat there for 3 weeks hearing you say that there's a team being trained and that they're going to be able to do it. And it's because I trusted you that I'm still here. But it did give you a moment to learn who you're dealing with. Every moment is a moment that you could learn from, right? Like if I go to McDonald's, which I will never go to McDonald's again because I think they're absolutely despicable how they raise prices because inflation. But McDonald's, like seriously, it's like there's not even meat in your burger, right? Like you don't get hit by inflation. But that's a story for another day. So let's not use them. Let's use Wendy's, which is a really great place. Let's say I go to a Wendy's and the food doesn't taste so good. Well, in my head, I'm like, well, that wasn't very good. Now, the next time I go to Wendy's, I have to make a decision. Do I think it's going to taste good or not? And am I going to trust the individual that it was just simply a bad shop rather than a bad company? In that moment, the next Wendy's I go to, when it's good, I could then say to myself, no, Wendy's is that well run of a company that they know that they have standards across the board, but like anything else, everything's not perfect. They have that one bad shop. Therefore, I can continue trusting Wendy's. I would have never been able to go ahead and say that if that situation didn't happen, because you need a situation to test you to understand what you're going to do and what you trust through it all, right? And maybe I'm just starving, but I decided I'm fasting this week because it's Rhino fasting week in my household, and that means me. So 5, 5, 5, then look, 24, 33, 36, 37, 40, 43. Now, we want this number, what's our projection? That it's going to equal 8% of the members, right? I think this is less than 8%. Now, granted, it's Monday, right? So we have a whole week together, but let's look at the week before. So 551 times 0.08 is 44. So we're 4 behind that 8%. So you know what, realistically, so let's see, 40 divided by 551. So we're at 7.25%. So you know what? We've said it the whole way through. These numbers are that accurate. It does not matter what numbers we want to show. It matters what the numbers actually are. So because the numbers are now, as of last week, are 7.25%, not 8% like we were projecting, well, then we need to change our projections, right? So as we take so this is the real-time number, so we're not going to touch that. But as we take a look at this number, you can see in the projection, it has 0.076. That was our calculated rate, that we were going to grow 7.6% per week in terms of, well, 7.6% of Rhino members would also be Rhino businesses. As we can very clearly see, it's not 0.076, it's 0.0725, right? So we're able to change that number. So what we do is we take this and copy it, because it's copying the formula, and we're going to pull this all the way down, and we're going to paste it, because now these are the newest, most accurate projections that we're able to offer. This shows exactly the numbers that we've been able to illustrate and demonstrate over the last 9 weeks. So what's that do? So the coin right now has a value of 20,847 projected in January 2024. Now, what you need to know about that value is it's all based on this number. This number is the number of Monday, but this is a weekly number. So let's say, at the end of the week, we get to 600, right? Well, now it's 24,000. So what really is hitting that, though, is the Rhino businesses. The Rhino businesses is where all the transactions happen, which goes back to the point that I was trying to illustrate to you before, that Rhino Marketplace is that important. It really is the complete engine of Rhino. So all the numbers that we had shared with you also, again, they're just organic numbers. We haven't done anything. Our entire growth has just been simply word of mouth. It's been sending out different email campaigns. We have right now $30 worth of Facebook ad spend per day. Excuse me. And that ad spend is not even like a call to action. It's here, come check out the site. Because again, right now, the only goal that we have is we need to get such a large amount of advice, such a large amount of feedback. We want to go ahead and get in front of everyone. We want such a diverse opinion. I don't only want the opinion of people that live in Wyoming. I don't only want the opinion of people that are accountants. I don't only want the opinion of people that live in Asia. I don't only want the opinion of people that are 25. We want the opinion of every single person from every single walk of life, every look, color, gender, location, age, everything. Because once we have all of that, and again, we absorb that, right? Like all of these calls, I know who's on it. I know who writes messages. I know who emails. I know who calls. I know who texts. I know who goes on the site. We know all of that stuff. So we're able to go ahead and say, all right, we're getting very close to the Venn diagram that's completely illustrative of the person and of the caricature or of the avatar of what we need. And we're getting very close to that. So that is Rhino Marketplace. So you can check it out. So again, let's go back to the front and we're just showing the changes of the site. So as you recall, I think there was like 6 tabs up here. Now it's just 3: Rhino Marketplace, Rhino Coin, Dear Wall Street. Rhino Marketplace is our engine. It's all of our marketplace companies with our search engine, which is phenomenal. Rhino Coin, everyone knows what Rhino Coin is. Dear Wall Street, that's who we are. Who are we at the core, right? Well, when you go to Dear Wall Street, you see our open letter to Wall Street. You see who is Rhino, what is Rhino, where is Rhino, why Rhino came to be in terms of what happened to bring us here, why Rhino should be here in terms of present, and why Rhino should be around in the future, right? Also, what I will tell you is these 6 videos, I am finding that even though I like 6 videos, I think they're a bit much. I don't think anyone's coming to our page and actually watching all 6 videos. So I think I'm going to delete 3 of these and just have the 3 best, which makes sense, right? You should have the 3 best of anything rather than the 6 average of anything. So this will change maybe by Wednesday. I'm going to be watching them all tomorrow and deleting 3 of them though. So look how clear and concise this page is. So this should also be down there as well. Hold on. Let me just send that over. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. I'm zooming out so I can take a proper screenshot. Because I'm also, again, everything is real time. I'm actually messaging Abigail now to correct this. Okay. So that will be corrected. And again, because the site was just upgraded, and it's so funny because I never actually come to the site, and I will not look at the site for the first time unless I'm live with everyone so we can look at it together, just so you can actually see and feel how it happens, how the sausage is made, but how we all do it together. So Dear Wall Street, right? Okay, so let's go back to the front page and see what it all looks like together. Oh, cool, Deborah, that's amazing. Okay. So welcome to the revolution, Rhino. May I say something out loud, something we all know to be true? This economy is going to crash. We'll be forced into lockdowns. Your future will be how you prepare today, unless you prefer to depend on the government tomorrow. You are your own business, even if you choose to sell your labor to your employer. You are your neighbor's customer, even if he's been put out of business. Your neighbor is your customer, even if you've been put out of business. If the customers of Walmart stopped shopping at Walmart and instead shopped amongst each other, Walmart would disappear. Billions of new small businesses would appear. Now multiply that by every Wall Street company. Come meet Rhino, right? And I believe that's very powerful, very like right in your face. That's who we are. Come meet Rhino. All right, I'll meet Rhino. So conceivably I would press this right here, but then there's stuff underneath. So whatever, there's more stuff. What we do, to learn more, click each icon, Marketplace, the coin, Rhino Wealth, Rhino Charity, Rhino Live. And the charity is going to have a new video by Wednesday. We're going to share the charity that we are raising money for this month. Ready to join the Rhino community? Everyone will be in attendance tonight. Come meet Rhino. Don't read this out loud, just a thought. Dear Wall Street may be interesting to Wall Street investors, but how many billions of people won't relate to it? Maybe there should be more inclusive title of Click What is Rhino? No, actually, I don't think that. Because if you follow along and actually watch the Wall Street video, you would very quickly realize that we are identifying Wall Street as the culprits. That those that are exchanging big money, that are taking ownership of large corporations and putting small businesses out of business, and are having partnerships between large business and large government to go ahead and keep a population enslaved and have wealth distribution that is completely unfair. That all starts with the money. That money starts at Wall Street. So Dear Wall Street, the video that is there actually goes ahead and describes that. So if that is a point that might be lost on you, then that is the most fundamental building block, the most fundamental block of who Rhino is, and that needs to be understood. So I think a lot of people care about Wall Street. I think when you see the word Wall Street, I think when you see Dear Wall Street, it's very, what is this, Dear Wall Street? And I think when you get to it, to have an open letter to Wall Street, I think that is, oh, what are these, who are these guys? What are they saying to them? Ron, if you would like to have this conversation, you're welcome to message me. And we take, I love the back and forth, but this is not the venue where we're going to debate this. This has been done, and this did not just happen today. This has actually been in the works, and the Wall Street video, I think we introduced 2 weeks ago. If at any point in the last 2 weeks you had issue with it, you're welcome to message me. That's fine. To go ahead and pretend that today's the first day this ever happened, or this is the first day you've ever seen it, is wildly disingenuous. So just message me. It's fine. But we like this. We have a very large platform. Everyone that's a part of it has been a part of this thought process. And I think everyone's quite pleased with it. So I do think never will there be 100% of people that ever agree with anything, and that's fine. You might just be the one that doesn't. But I will tell you from my perspective, it's very important that I go ahead and make sure that I understand the consensus, and the consensus does like this video. In fact, let's watch it. And if you still don't like it, that's fine.
Dear Wall Street, the greatest trick ever pulled was you convincing the world that you don't exist.
Money buys elections. You exist in the government. Money buys houses. You live in homes. Money buys education. You live in thoughts. Money buys survival. You exist in families. Money buys media. You exist in the news.
When you held our government hostage and mandated only Wall Street companies be deemed essential, you went way too far, because the way you took our family businesses from us, you left us with nothing for you to control.
Over these last 2 years, you've taken away our belief in elections, in doctors, in fairness, in law enforcement, in opportunity, in genders, in privacy, in schooling, in family, in media, in science, in all basic freedom.
Because you have even taken our customers, we are now forced to become your employees, to work alongside our former employees who you also took. We watched how you printed trillions of dollars in your bailouts for our great-grandchildren to pay back. And just to rub it in, you left us to pay the inflation on gas prices with unemployment, while you cash out billions in stock price inflation.
Either we trust being your customer and your employee, or we destroy you by simply walking away.
Because you only care to take more people's money, you're selling your companies at 30 times their profits. Those who buy your stocks are buying what you've convinced them they'll be worth 30 years from today. What would happen if all of a sudden your companies lost their customers, if we walked away?
And unlike every other time you've crashed, this time will not hurt us. It'll be because we chose to no longer be your customer, but instead be each other's customers. The money wouldn't disappear, you would. And do you really think we are going to vote for government to bail you out again? We demand better.
Rhino is built for this exact moment. For rhinos, by rhinos.
I love that video. Every time I watch it, it like captures me. It really, really is great. But just to button up the point with Ron. So again, what Rhino is, the mission statement of Rhino from the I guess the most fundamental premise is that education has been so suppressed purposely that a demographic is able to be enslaved, right? That you can go ahead and make the people so unaware of where the money's coming from, so unaware of what questions to ask, that they'll simply just accept life. And for the most part, that works, because I don't think people have this, they wake up and they say, I want to be a billionaire and let me go ahead and find out who's taking it from me. I think people just want to have a nice family, grow up just fine, have a good job, have dinner on the table. I think that's the American dream. And I'm all for that. I believe that's amazing, right? If you live that life, you have a wife or husband, you have a good paying job, you have an honest living, your kids grow up, they go to college, you retire, and you have like a little place in Florida that you visit. I think that's amazing. That's a great life. But in doing so, in purposely taking advantage of those that are not looking to find out who's taking advantage of them. Like, for instance, that family is not saying, okay, well, this congressman is also a lobbyist of this company, and he got a kickback from this person. By purposely taking advantage of people's want for the American dream and allowing the education to be so suppressed that people don't know where the questions to ask or where the money's coming from. So for instance, when you talk about Wall Street, well, you have a job. Anyone, let's talk about the people that have a job. What are they getting paid for their job, right? Well, they're getting paid the amount that's coming down from the CEO, right? So the CEO owns the company. No, he doesn't own the company. So the company exists. The company then gets sold to Wall Street. And what do I mean by that? Stock, right? So you own a private company and then Wall Street buys. Wall Street goes ahead and gives you money, and then they purchase the shares of your company. Here's this much money, I now own 50% of your company. Great. Wall Street then goes ahead and, well, the shares of this company would be worth more if we got to cut expenses. Do you really need to pay them 20 an hour? You can really pay them 19 an hour. You don't really need to go spend the overhead on those conditions. They'll be fine. Oh, they don't want to work over there? Too bad. We'll go ahead and outsource and get cheaper labor. My point is, every decision in the world has to do with money. And if you were able to identify the source of those funds, you would find a lot of answers to a lot of questions you may have. But in identifying the source of those funds, you must know how to say, this is what they're doing, this is why they're doing it, and this is how I can prevent them from doing it, or this is how I could change them from doing it. And when you take a look at the world we have right now, where 1% actually own 99% of the goods and services, wouldn't it behoove you to be able to speak and identify the money source and say, wait a second, why does 1% have billions and trillions of dollars and then everyone else has nothing? That seems a bit unfair. Therefore, that person should have an education that should allow them to understand that Wall Street is an important component to everyone's life. If you do not understand that, that's fine. But to go ahead and pretend it doesn't exist, or to go ahead and pretend it's not important, is exactly the goal of those that are on Wall Street. They want you to say, oh yeah, Wall Street, they're just people over there, they're doing their thing, and no, they are the culprit. They are ground zero. You have to make it really easy for them to find the info. I never criticize, I offer feedback. My opinion, Wall Street will be an obstacle for 40%, maybe more. Maybe more. They feel alienated by Wall Street. Well, Ron, I disagree. And if others feel the same as Ron, please share, right? Like everyone sees, I'll change something in a heartbeat. But I do understand your point of view. I've heard your point of view. I've told you I disagree with your point of view. Now this is you simply just debating me. And we put a lot of thought into this, and to go ahead and so quickly change it based on your realization 2 weeks after the fact is just not something we're going to do. So, okay, so we're gonna have this underneath. And again, love Ron, right? Like we talk all the time. In fact, Ron, I was talking to Abigail before, they're working on your project right now. So anyway, so you go ahead and start at the main page. It's then going to bring you Come Meet Rhino again, or maybe check out some of the programs and platforms we have, right? But Come Meeting Rhino will take you to the Wall Street page, because upon watching this video, you're going to understand exactly who Rhino is. Then you'll be able to see the videos and say, okay, I want to learn a little bit more. Stick to your principles right on. Thank you, Tony. Also, what you'll find on the page is down at the bottom right, we did clean up the footer tabs. We want to make it very clean. So at the top, you have Marketplace, Coin, Wall Street, right? Marketplace, the engine. Coin, the financing option, like the way that Rhino is able to go ahead and reward all of those that are part of Rhino. Dear Wall Street, who are we? Dear Wall Street, we're writing you a letter. We're taking aim squarely at you. I like the ambassadors to the Republic of Rhino, though how practical it is, one wonders. Can you imagine writing ambassadors to the Republic of Rhino? That's like, it's a very long sentence. I gave you feedback and said, don't talk in front of everyone, which I never did. And said, don't talk about, Ron, this is an open platform. Anything that comes across that, everyone can read, and I'm going to respond to. And don't take it personally. We're all building this together. I'm never going to see someone write something and then message them privately. It'll never happen. We are one community, and if it can't be said in front of everyone, then it shouldn't be said. And that's my opinion. And that is a principle I have, and that will never change. Okay, and then at the bottom, it's more of the contact us functions, right? Like Rhino Vlog, which is all the videos that we've ever done. Every single time a video is finished, it's uploaded and then put onto the YouTube, which that stream is then right on the platform, right? So here you go. Look, 1:08, today's 1:10. If you missed Saturday, you can watch it right there. Next, the Rhino feed. No, I saw, Ron, I saw you. Yeah, I see it says to host and panelist. But it's not gonna change anything for me. Me, if you write it to me while we're live, I'm going to speak about it, because here's the thing. I'm live and I'm talking, right? I don't have a script. I'm speaking straight from the heart. So while I'm speaking, I get offset by things that are written, right? So when I'm speaking from the heart and from the mind and speaking exactly what's in front of us, and then you or anyone writes something, what happens to my brain? Bop, bop, bop. And then what happens? I then respond, because everyone's response is valuable to all of us. So if you have feedback, well, it's good for everyone. If you want it to be private, then you shouldn't send it on a live stream, which is just my opinion. But not even my opinion, because I think in objectable reality, we have proven that if you write something to someone that's live speaking without a script, it's going to be addressed. And we do thank you. Anyone's opinion is worthwhile. So Rhino Feed is where you can come to here and type anything you'd like. Abigail, Leon, Mrs. Kalisha, my wife loves clicking here, but you can see how many views there are. And again, this is brand new. How many people are hearting the stuff, how much they like it, what are the replies? So say, for instance, you have a company or you have an idea or you have just anything, please feel free to write it here. Hey guys, loved the live yesterday. I thought the back and forth between Anthony and Ron was quite exciting. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, right? Cool, enter. Hey guys, I have my company, I'm scheduled to present Tuesday. Can't wait, everyone come check it out, right? This, I haven't paid much attention to it because we're building stuff, right? But this is going to be part of the host that you're going to meet next week, who's amazing. And we're really going to spend some time trying to engage the community to participate in this, because this took a lot of time to create. And this is like Twitter meets Reddit. We want to have a home where anybody who's been on any part of Rhino can simply just come by and say, yeah, hey, these were my thoughts, cool. And anyone that knows, I'm super responsive. If you write something in here, it goes directly to me and I will respond to it if it requires response, right? Oh, darn, really wish Anthony would do this. Okay, I'm there, right? Rhino credentials. This is everything that you need to know about Rhino in terms of who we are, our annual report certification, our IRS taxpayer certification, our bank statement. Obviously, we took out the bank, like we'll show you, right? Obviously, I scratched out my bank numbers, but you can see Chase, you can see Rhino Research LLC. The points being, in any platform, especially one that has a coin, you should have access to all of the bank statements. You should have access. Oh, I don't like them. Okay, IRS, this is their stuff. Cool. All right, great. So you know we're a real company, right? Distraction. And then Don. Don is so great. So Don actually did an interview. He welcomed us onto his platform. And just now, again, this isn't CNN, right? Like I don't get the questions ahead of time. And just asked all of his questions. And I was so pleased to be able to, it's really so privileged to be on his podcast in front of his audience and to answer the questions just from the gut. So if you want to get to know Rhino a little more, this is a very reputable person who went ahead and invited us and recorded and was kind enough to send it to us, right? Join our live meeting for more info. So that's pretty cool. All right, Rhino partner. If you want to become a partner of Rhino, we have showed this before. Upon clicking that, if you're not a partner yet, you'll be able to become a partner, name, email, etc. And then once you do so, you end up on this page, which is your dashboard. This is your affiliate link you're able to share with anyone, which will go ahead and earn you 10 Rhino coin for every person that comes to the page on your behalf. And then we went ahead and even spent the time to build out copy for an email, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, text message, LinkedIn, Instagram. Oh, you need more? How about a banner ad? How about a Pinterest? You want to pin it? The point being, any member of Rhino or any member anywhere can invest 3 minutes of their life clicking every one of these buttons. Click submit, right? Email, send email. Click submit, click submit, click submit. And in these, you're going to have a link that's already representative in the copy. This link if I show you, if I do a copy link, already has your affiliate code in it. So when you go ahead and click any of those buttons, click and then submit it to your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram, you're sending a tweet or a message or whatever to an audience that is then, when they click it, is crediting you. Because as you take a look at this link right here, you see the link and then there's my affiliate code. That obviously is very different than this, meaning it's already embedded into it, which is really, really high level stuff. So that's already done. So if you want to become a partner, we really like you to do so. And then contact us. Anybody knows, if you go ahead and put something in here, it goes directly to my email. I go ahead and respond to it within, I don't know, 10 minutes. I don't want to say that, an hour, right? Give me an hour. Now, once our new host starts, we're going to be making a transition where this is going to be moved over to her, because I do believe in her capacity as a host, it is wise that that person knows everything about everyone, right? Someone has a question, comment, concern, it could go through her. Therefore, when she's on the live speaking to everyone, she can then present it to everyone. Hey, and then Ron asked me this question the other day, and I thought it'd be helpful to everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and walk everyone through it today. So this will be moving from me to her. And by me to her, I mean, someone else is going to have access, right? I'll always have access to all the communication, because ultimately I will always go ahead and support and make sure that everyone is pleased, right? But there is a calculation of time, and to go ahead and be able to delegate important tasks to people that are able to fulfill them allows all of us to grow as big as we can grow, right? When clicking on Instagram, it says error. Okay, let's go to it. Copy link, click here to, so if I copy the link, all right. So I think you have to, I don't want to log on to my Instagram right here, but I think you have to have an Instagram. I don't know if that sounds silly, Frida. Frida, do you have an Instagram? Yes. Where's the error? So you click this button. Does it say error when you click this button? I'll wait for her to type, but I'll go ahead and recheck into that. But at least from my end, when I click this, it's just then asking me to sign on. And I imagine once oh, you know what? Is it that the copy's too long? So I'll go ahead and look into that. Because there's also, no, because Instagram, there's no maximum amount of characters you're able to use. Instagram. All right. So from my end, Frida, it looks good. So if you would be so kind just to share where you're getting the error message from, I'll be able to look a little deeper into it. All right, so that's that. So it's 2:54. I think we're gonna leave it there. Just kind of want to do a quick walkthrough of the platform and want to share some thoughts out loud. The Rhino Marketplace is going to be looking a little different tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow, but definitely by Wednesday. And we'll walk everyone through the coin and other stuff, but it is important that everyone sees that it is moving forward. This week, I have a bit of a couple of tasks. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading and putting together, oh, thank you, send my request info to Marketplace. All right, Michelle's in the Marketplace, woo-hoo! I love Michelle. And Michelle's great, like everyone likes Michelle. Like Laura cannot stop speaking the higher words of Michelle. That being said, so, oh, the update. Let me see if the gentleman is on. So let's see. All right. So Rhino was approached by one of our rhinos for a large investment. They are looking to invest before the end of this month between $500,000 and $2 million into the coin. Now, of course, with that large of number, we had to go ahead and make terms, right? Because Rhino's never going to allow anyone to come in with $1 million at 2 cents for the sole purpose of then taking out 3 million at 6 cents, right? Like, we stand behind our market, but it's because we protect the market. We are not ever going to let anyone just come in and take advantage of it, right? So in owning Rhino Coin, the belief is that you own the Rhino Coin because you see the future, right? You're a believer of the vision of the future. Now, whether that means you hold all your coin or not, it's completely a different story. Everyone's welcome to buy and sell coin as they please. That is the market. That's why we go ahead and protect it. But if someone's coming to the market to take advantage of it, that will never happen. We will never allow that. Therefore, we did go ahead and make terms to this individual. So no speculators. I don't want to say no speculators. If you want to be a small speculator, that's fine. But I have to defend the platform. If someone comes in and speculates and literally just uses the market to extract millions of dollars, then what happened to Rhino, right? We will always protect Rhino. If you want to make a couple of bucks, God bless you. But if you want to come in with $1 million or $2 million and think that you're going to take 10 million out of Rhino by the end of the year, you're out of your mind, right? Like, I'm never going to let that happen. The point being, we had to make terms with this individual that we will allow them to sell as much coin to recoup 100%, right? So if this individual comes in with 2 million, we will allow them to sell 2 million worth of coin during this year, in which case they will be able to own the remainder of that coin to infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. And after 2023, if they want to sell coin, God bless. It's an open market. Rhino is managing this market and needs to defend this market to grow Rhino. That being said, if those funds come in this month, you're going to see Rhino move so quickly. Now, we're projecting in April to start doing live events. If that comes in this month, that's going to have to happen much quicker, as in March, and which means in February, we're going to hire 2, 3, maybe even 4 website designers to really build out the businesses to make sure that we fully populate Rhino Marketplace in a very big way. The point being, I want to share with everyone that as of right now, the path forward, we've been knocking the cover off the ball. Every step we've been taking, maybe sometimes slow, maybe sometimes overly cautious, but they've all produced results that we're happy with. And I'm going to show the Rhino coin sheets as I'm speaking, because I think it's very easy for someone to say that. But guys, we've been here together this whole entire time. These numbers are produced in real time every single week. These numbers are going up every week. So it's not that we're sitting here saying, oh, you know, we're going to try really hard and the future looks bright. No, you've been a part of it. Everything we've done so far has been successful. One could argue, Anthony, you could have had a higher level of success, and that's fine. God bless. If you know the secret code to the world that I don't, please share it with me, but I don't have it. I just know how to do hard work and staying dedicated to our goals. So that being said, exactly where we are is exactly where we want to be. It's right there. You could see it. But if that comes in, you're going to see a level of speed that you've never even known existed. You're going to see probably by the month of June, a nation wondering and live streaming who Rhino is. I haven't decided yet that if we go ahead and 2 million comes in, if I go ahead and halt new coin purchases, I don't think I would do that. But again, I will always defend the platform, and I can't run the risk that I'm on the hook, Rhino's on the hook for $2 million over the next however many months. And then all the while, another 100,000 comes in, another 200,000, because the market needs to work. And I will always defend the market. And it's just, end the story. That being said, things are exciting, right? I just want to share that. This isn't a message of, well, you better hurry up and buy the coin now, because that just seems disingenuous. It wasn't meant to be an urgency or scarcity thing. It's just meant to actually share with you updates, right? So that's that. 3 o'clock on the dot. Frida, no, just when I click Instagram, it says error, but when the error page opened and then I click on the top of Instagram, it opens up to my profile. Yeah, Ron, fiduciary responsibility, thank you. Absolutely, I will always defend and protect rhinos. It's just, this whole platform is built on that premise that we're trying to bring everyone together so that we could stand up for ourselves. At no point ever in the history of the world is it like, oh, and then Anthony did this. Yeah, right. Frida, so it's fixed, right? Cool. 3 o'clock, guys. So tomorrow is 8 o'clock. Tomorrow I'll be in my office. So tomorrow's my long day, right? Where I spend, by the time we meet, I would have been here for 15 hours. So it'll be fun, right? Like we'll have like cuckoo Anthony tomorrow. But seriously, love everyone. And I will see everyone tomorrow. No, thank you. Michelle, you're the best. Everyone, love you. Nico, very nice. Ah, love Nico. Nico's in the house. Have a great one, Ann. Thanks for everything you do. Dan, you're the best. And thanks, Ron. Good job. And it's not disingenuous when I say you're the best. I was the oldest of 6 boys. Every time my mother had one of us in the room, you're my favorite son, then would say the same thing to the next one, next one, next one. And it wasn't that any one of us was her favorite over the others. It was just that in the moment when she saw that person, that was her whole world. And every one of you, every time I see you, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. All right? Love you. Bye.